Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and I got a review for you today. Today we're going to be talking about IDW in association with Dark Horse Comics, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Stranger Things, issue number 1. It is written by Chittock, art by Fero Pe, colors by Sofie, Dodgson, and letters by Rus Wooton. I'm sorry if I mispronounced any of those names. It's no form of disrespect, just how I'm trying to read them. But before we get started, please like, comment, and subscribe on this guy's channel. It does help. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when I do drop videos. So without further ado, let's get into it, right? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Stranger Things. The book states that it takes place in New York City, 1985. Which is perfect because both of these franchises take place, in that time. Stranger Things take place in Indiana. Hawkins would be the city. But it does state right here that they're in a field trip for the day, and that's why they're in New York City. We're greeted by all the kids, including Max. It doesn't state where this takes place within the seasons of Stranger Things or Ninja Turtles, but there are some kind of notable factors as it goes ahead, like Janeka, I think is how it's pronounced. She's not here, it's just the 4 turtles. Another thing to note is, like I said, Max is still here. But it does state that they have run into like the Demon Gorgons, and it's kind of a conversation that Dodgson has while he's looking into the sewer system, that kind of stuff, amazed by the architectural engineering structure of it all. But he does states that they I want to say this is maybe season 3 or season 2, something like that. But basically we're caught up. Well, it would have to be because we got Max, right? So all the kids are there, including Elle. She gets there late. She arrives by a separate bus. They end up getting separated from the main group of other kids. They try to head down to the subway to catch up with them. As they head down there, they start hearing a certain hissing that sounds familiar to them. And sure enough, they go investigate, and we run into some Demogorgons, which they're not exactly Demogorgons. It's a mix of both franchises. It's like Mauser Demon Goblins. They do get a name later on in the book, I think from, I think it might be Will that gives them the name, but I can't remember. But before Elle could even protect all the kids, because that's what was about to happen, we are greeted by the other main characters of the books, the Ninja Turtles, right? They jump in, they start, and this is a more vicious Ninja Turtles. As you can tell, they're all wearing the same red bandana. This is more comic accurate Ninja Turtles. So they're not punching and kicking, they're going in there slicing and dicing, they're killing these things. After they do take out all these Mauser goblin things, we are quickly greeted with both sets of teams. The kids are not really freaked out by the turtles. The turtles, they're not really freaked out by them. But they kind of, and they kind of see Elle's powers here because some other demon goblins run up and she uses her psychic powers, and that kind of explains why the kids aren't kind of scared. Right after that, they are taken back to the turtles' lair, and they kind of start discussing everything that goes on. The turtles are brought up to everything that's basically happened to the kids as far as Stranger Things is concerned, which is, it's taken over pretty interestingly by the turtles. And right after that, they are greeted by Master Splinter, which at this point kind of does freak the kids out. I think they were okay with that, and I think it's a nod to the first movie with April, being okay with the turtles, and then she saw Splinter and fainted. But at this point, they're trying to figure out how the demon goblins are there in the first place, that they follow the kids kind of thing. Why do they look like a mix of Mausers and the demon goblins? And Will kind of just, says it how it is. It doesn't matter where they go on the earth, the Upside Down's always going to be there kind of thing. And they show this cool rendition of New York in the Upside Down, like a regular version and the Upside Down version. But as we've seen, if you're current with Stranger Things, it's the whole world that's the upside down. It's the upside down version of our world. So, you know, you go to Texas, there's going to be a Texas version of that. Or you go to China, there's going to be a China version. We've already seen there's a Russia version. At this point, the turtles kind of informed them that the mouse or, like, you know, technology and stuff like that comes from a dude named Baxter Stockman. And, you know, and that's kind of where, you know, it leads the book. The turtles are kind of confused because they state that Baxter Stockman is supposed to be locked up in jail. The kids are like, well, if this guy is smart enough to make these mousers, couldn't he just easily break out? The turtles learn about Elle's other power by going into the void and how she's able to track down people in the void. She does ask for something to cover up her eyes. She is given one of the, you know, turtles bandanas. It's a spare one that's in the background. I want to say it's a nod to Janeka because she's on the way. She's just not here yet. At the present time or whatever. I don't think she'll show up in this comic. I'm just saying, you know. But we do see Elle in the void. She does track down Baxter Stockman. We see him writing all these, like, 11 on these pieces of paper, and then we get an address on another piece of paper, and it's basically him telling Elle, you know, 11 where to go and where to find him, kind of thing. She learns that, you know, he's basically not in jail, and the location, stuff like that, and that's all the information she was able to grab. So, of course, they basically split up into two different teams. They try one team, they kind of track down where all the demon gorgons are coming from, and then the other team is going to track down Baxter Stockman, and they split up with Turtles and Stranger Things cast members. Like Donatello goes with Dustin and Max, claiming that they're the smart ones, but they all do kind of split equally, kind of thing, as they go forward, kind of thing. The team that we are with is the team that goes after Baxter Stockman to that address or whatever, and when they get there, it's basically a trap. With Baxter Stockman and the Foot Clan at the top of this roof location, because they were trying to go onto the roof to get an element of surprise, and Baxter's already up there, and instantly a fight breaks out. You can already see Elle using her psychic power, sending some of the Foot, you know, and then the Ninja Turtles jumping in. But that's where this issue leaves off. We get a cover preview to the next issue. It doesn't give us, you know, a whole lot of information. It's just a cool cover. But that's it. My final thoughts on this book was, man, this is how you do a crossover right here. Okay, we just had Ninja Turtles and Street Fighter, and it was okay. This was fantastic. The art looks like, I mean, the original Ninja Turtle art. I thought it was done by Eastman. But the story and setup is fantastic. It's basically the story set up on a lot of other crossovers with Ninja Turtles. The Mousers show up. They basically track down Stockman, which leads to Shredder, you know. But this one is interesting enough. Both franchises being from the 80s. There's a bunch of nods to both franchises in the book. Oh my god, it was really good. I'm not a huge Ninja Turtle comic book reader, but I have enough knowledge to go forward and read this and appreciate it. But a lot of it just felt like the animated Ninja Turtle, you know, that I grew up with, kind of thing, because I do have a lot of knowledge on that. The movies, the games, the animated stuff, I've stayed current with Ninja Turtles all the way through. And Stranger Things, I've loved all the way through, and thought both franchises were done pretty good. I mean, it was great. I'm kind of glad I you know, picked up this cover and didn't notice that Leonardo had the red, because I didn't know it was going to be the older Turtles that we were going to get. I thought it was going to be current. But this was fantastic. A high recommend if I had to recommend a book. It was a great read. And there's a lot I left out that, you know, if you do happen to go back and read it, there's a lot I left out I didn't tell you about. But that is my review. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you read it, did you pass it up? You know, let me know whatever you want to let me know. Alright guys, I will let you go. That's all I got for you.